Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and our title today is Amazon for Amazonians. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. We know nothing about them, and they want to keep it that way. So there's not much to write. So as you can see, I have highlighted keep it that way. Use keep it that way to describe leaving a situation instead of trying to change things in some way. Alright, so keep it that way. 오는 상황을 바꾸지 않고 그대로 두는 것을 설명할 때 쓰인다. Another example, like 그대로 유지하다. Okay, just keep it in that same way. So an example we have here is I have never had any interactions with the mafia and I want to keep it that way. 저는 마피아와 어떠한 교류를 한 적이 없으며 앞으로도 그렇게 유지하고 싶습니다. 그래서 I've never met the mafia 만나본 적이 없는데 그리고 만나고 싶지 않다. So I want to keep it that way. I don't want that to change. Or Hakim's parents don't know what he did last summer and he prefers to keep it that way. 하킴의 부모님은 하킴이 지난 여름에 무엇을 했는지 모르시고 그는 그렇게 유지하길 원합니다. So maybe he did something wrong, maybe he was a very bad boy, I don't know, but yes, he does not want his parents to find out and he wants to keep it that way. Alright, let's move on to 2번 now. 2번. Predictably, some have gotten into internet porn, which goes against the tribe's tradition of modesty when it comes to intimate relationships. So, the word predictably is what we're going to talk about next. So use predictably to express that the situation you are about to describe is not surprising. It is a similar meaning to as you might expect or sure enough. So predictably 설명할 상황이 놀랍지 않거나 예상 가능한 걸 얘기할 때 쓰인다. 예상대로 예상했듯이 as you might expect 또는 sure enough 표현이랑 비슷한 뜻이에요. So, if we look at our examples, predictably, I didn't quite keep my New Year's resolution to stop drinking beer. 예상대로 맥주를 마시지 않겠다는 새해 결심을 지키지 못했다. So many people at the start of the new year, they make what's called a New Year's resolution. Usually it's to lose weight, exercise more, save money, etc. This person was to stop drinking beer, but he predictably 예상대로 didn't do that. Predictably, my parents embarrassed me in front of my friends. 예상했듯이 저희 부모님은 제 친구들 앞에서 저를 부끄럽게 만들었습니다. So, yes, remember when you were young and you didn't want your parents to hang out with your friends and they would embarrass you? I've had that situation happen to me all the time. Alright, now let's look at the language focus quiz. 1번. I have never, and I really hope to keep it that way. Let's scroll back up to keep it that way. So remember, keep it that way. 오는 상황을 바꾸지 않고 그대로 두는 것을 설명할 때 쓰인다. So, 그대로 유지하다. So, let's go. I have never had a car crash and I really hope to keep it that way. 저는 자동차 사고가 난 적이 없고 앞으로도 그렇길 바랍니다. That's true and knock on wood that I don't get into a car crash. 2번, doesn't or don't. So we're looking either for a subject here, a 주어, know about, and it's probably better to keep it that way. Let's just say, I don't know, she. Now, which one do I use? She doesn't. She doesn't know about, and it's probably better to keep it that way. The secret. And it's probably better to keep it that way. 그녀는 비밀을 모르고 있고 아마 그대로 유지하는 것이 나을 것입니다. Okay, 3번. Predictably. Scroll back up to predictably. Remember, 설명할 상황이 놀랍지 않거나 예상 가능한 걸 얘기할 수 있다. So, example, 예상대로 예상했듯이. It was similar to, we said, as you might expect, sure enough. That was a similar expression. So predictably, the rocket failed to launch. Maybe they had bad engineers. 예상대로 로켓은 발사에 실패했습니다. And predictably, no one wanted to work on the weekend. 예상했듯이 아무도 주말에 일하고 싶어 하지 않았다. Alright, now let's look at the further discussion. 1번. In the past 30 years, which new digital technologies created big changes in society? Do you think the most of these changes were positive or negative? 지난 30년간 사회에 큰 변화를 가져온 새로운 디지털 기술은 어떤 것들이 있었나요? 이러한 변화의 두 부분이 긍정적이었다고 생각하시나요? 아니면 부정적이 있다고 생각하시나요? I would definitely say in the last 30 years the smartphone has been the piece of technology that has changed the world completely. The internet, I guess, is also the same, because obviously the internet is what created basically not created. You could probably argue that it created the smartphone. But I think, in my personal opinion, the smartphone gave us something to do everything on, and that is make phone calls, search the internet, play games, do everything. Once upon a time in the 90s, all that was separate. You couldn't make a phone call and look at a video at the same time unless you were watching TV and on the phone. Shows you how old I am, by the way, because supposedly the younger generation do not do this anymore. The younger generation do this. And yeah, the smartphone is just an amazing tool. You can do everything and anything on it. And but yes, I also think the internet obviously changed the world completely. It brought people closer together through social media, etc. It made us learn about the world more. You know, I remember back in the day, before internet was a big thing, that we learned a lot about the world through encyclopedias. Now, for the younger generation, they're not going to know what an encyclopedia is. But I'm old enough to know that they were basically the dictionary of the world. 2번. What are the key survival activities for life in your society? What happens if people stop performing these activities? 당신이 소관 사회에서 핵심 생존 활동은 무엇인가요? 만약 사람들이 이러한 활동을 중단하면 어떤 일이 발생하나요? What are the key survival activities for life in your survival? In your society? I guess they mean in this question like working. Working is essential in order to survive in this world. Obviously, working creates money, which creates which stimulates the economy, which means that you can buy things like houses, cars, food, etc. They're the key survival things within our society, especially here in Korea. I mean, having a job is extremely important. If people stop doing that, then obviously they have no money to pay the house. They become homeless. They have no money to eat. They have to start begging. Yeah, that's what I think anyway, if that's what they mean by this question. Anyway, that wraps it up for today, and I'll see you on the next class.
Uncontacted.
Uncontacted.
Communal.
Communal.
Hallucinogen.
Hallucinogen.
Engage.
Engage.
Remote.
Remote.
Constellation.
Constellation.